It doesn't answer the question. What are we going to do about Ben Affleck? How long have we been rolling? How much do we get out of
13 minutes?
That is good. That's vintage brunch.
That is
13 minutes out of what are we going to do about Ben Affleck?
Unbelievable filibustering for no reason when we have topics for this episode.
That felt good though.
Yeah.
Brunch. Hit it, boys. Okay, we have to talk about Ben Affleck. This guy loves Dunkin' Donuts. What do you think is the story there?
Yeah, I would imagine the Boston roots. I tweeted with like, this is the most Boston picture of all time, and I hate doing that. I don't like to use that bullet is overused.
It's quite thirsty, yeah.
Yeah, but that was the most Boston picture of all time.
Do you think it's guerrilla marketing?
I think that it might be for the Believe in Boston t-shirt because I've never seen anyone actually buy one of those.
I know.
That is like that's like the Instagram target ads of like, hey, it seems based on your search history, you like Boston sports.
Yeah.
So you're a big fan, huh? And I'm like, certain teams.
Yeah.
And it's like, how about this? It says Believe in Boston. I'm like, I don't like Believe in Boston because it sounds very defensive. It's like the like when Mulaney said like I didn't kill my wife. Like, oh, bet that guy killed his wife. Like, Believe in Boston is such, I don't know. I feel like you're like defending something that
I think it sounds mythical.
What's that?
Like Boston's mythical. Believe in Boston.
Oh, like believe that Boston exists.
Boston exists.
See, I view it as like fighting against a reputation,
like
or
believe
whatever.
in Boston's goodness or whatever.
Right.
Just get a shirt that just says Boston isn't racist. What?
Yeah, so I'm like, what are they saying? Is that like I don't know if we want to discuss that, but
yeah, let's not do that.
I'll just say there is no worse way to defend finding out that from somebody who has experienced racism that where you live has racial issues than saying, hey, me, like a person place. Who has not experienced racism because I am white, disagrees. That's
personally, a white man, has never experienced racism in Boston, so it cannot be racist.
That's not going to help the reputation.
But that picture was hilarious. It's just the saddest picture of all time because I hadn't seen the follow-up photo.
When he dropped it?
That's the best part.
No, it's not.
Haven't we all been Affleck?
I was just about to say, we've been there. Like, when you're juggling like 16 things from Dunks, oh, God, this is the most Boston podcast of all time.
It makes me so sad to see, like, things hit the ground.
Oh, yeah.
The picture of Jonah Hill with his dropping coffee. You remember that one?
That was really sad.
Devastating.
I don't know if I know that one.
It's the one where he's like walking in New York and he's holding the iced coffee. And at the time the picture was taken, he's literally just holding the lid and the straw, and the rest of the coffee is falling in the process of falling to the ground. And it is such a devastating picture.
So I just looked it up, Jonah Hill DR, and it was the autocomplete was Jonah Hill dropping coffee. And that just reminds me of, do you remember, it might have been ClickHole or something, but it was like 15 GIFs that would be useful or something. And it was just saying, like, basically reverse engineer GIFs that's like, hey, we need a GIF for this thing, so wouldn't it be useful if there was a GIF of Rashida Jones, like, taking a sip of coffee and, like, looking into the cup or something? That's what that reminded me of, looking up Jonah Hill dropping coffee. It's a pretty good picture of Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill,
so cool.
He is one of the coolest people in the world.
Yeah. So what are you going to do about Ben Affleck and the Dunkin' Donuts thing?
What are we going to do about it?
Yeah, let's get him.
Fucking canceled.
Hey, we legitimately though, like, we have been there. Like, the way too many. I'm like turning it into a Dunkin' Donuts thing, but anyone not from Boston is like, yes, it's just called having your hands full.
No, I related to just like the look on his face. It's clearly like the morning after. He was strained. It looked like he was a little sweaty.
Yes.
He was just like putting all of his effort into just getting that coffee home. And the fact that he dropped it at the doorstep at the finish line is just devastating to me.
Here's something. What about when you have the 4 cups in Boston? We have these
caddy.
like it's like these cardboard things.
Jesus Christ.
Where you put your
Is that a Boston thing?
No, he's joking.
Oh.
See, this is where
Only in Boston.
Yeah, you add a third dynamic who doesn't get how fucking stupid you are.
Only in Boston. I did see Only in Boston tweeted like
God.
you made it to
Oh my
2021, and I was like, maybe DJ, like for someone who hates cynicism, I can be cynical from time to time. I love quote tweeting the Only in Boston Twitter account with Only in Boston. Which I know I stole that from somebody. I saw somebody had done that with the Only in Boston Twitter account, where like they'll tweet out a picture of like
A tree.
like new Star Wars movies coming out this Friday, like
Only in Boston.
Only in Boston, I guess. But that account tweeted like you made it to 2021, and I really wanted to do the like Only in Boston. Just we're the only people with the Eastern Standard Time Zone.
Suckers are stuck in 2020.
Yeah, but we have these things in Boston where you put the 4 cups of coffee, or really, I mean, this is kind of like a Boston hack. You put cups of anything in there, and where do you put those in your car?
On the console.
You put that on the console?
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah. What do you?
What?
What do you have? Like a tabletop you drilled in there?
You drive an RV?
Yeah.
I don't know. It like balances in between the seats.
No.
Really?
That sounds like the worst. I put it on the passenger seat, like leaning up against the back of the thing.
Passenger, the back of the seat?
Yeah.
Oh, see, that I think is risky. I do passenger seat floor, but I guess there's no but there. That seems like a practical place to put it.
Yeah, but so the passenger seat you can reach at least. So like if you're stopping short or something, you can hold it up against the back of the thing so it doesn't slide. You can't reach the floor.
Well,
True.
you can't reach the floor.
I can't even reach the floor where the pedals are.
Where do you put a pizza in the car?
Passenger
The
side.
passenger floor.
Passenger floor?
Yeah.
See, I don't think I'm getting room for a passenger floor.
You back up
pizza.
the seat all the way.
I did that with beer. I got a bunch of beer at the beer brewery and had them.
I love those places.
Had them stacked up in the back seat, passenger back seat floor, and they went all the way up, but with the seat not pushed, with the passenger front seat not pushed back. They were going to fall on the back seat, passenger back seat. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm so lost.
Here's what I did. Backed up that passenger front seat, squeeze it in there.
Yeah.
That beer wasn't going anywhere except to my mouth.
Oh!
Once I got home.
Did your parents grow up like instilling a horrible fear that if you put any bottles or cans in the back seat behind the driver's seat, that it will roll through the floor and get stuck underneath the pedal?
No, but I do hate that.
That was literally like one of my biggest fears trying to get my driver's license. I'm like, gotta remember, you can't put any drinks behind your driver's seat because it might roll on the floor and get stuck underneath the pedal and you won't be able to stop or go.
That is so not a thing.
I don't think it's ever happened to anybody, but my mom was like, that will happen.
Listen, this is going to, like, I got the talk of like, hey, like, it's a weapon. Like those kind of, like those sorts of things.
My mom was like, watch your drinks in the car.
I'll tell you.
They'll get stuck underneath the pedals.
I have this going on right now, and I never have this going on. I have a water bottle rolling around in my front passenger seat floor. Mm-hmm. That is one of, what's the opposite of a luxury? Or like a nice little thing that just makes your day a little better. That is a bad big thing that makes your day worse.
I probably have like 15.
And it like just rolls around and hits stuff. Yep. You gotta hear that all day.
And then in the winter it's frozen and it's just like a brick.
Right. Then you got a brick just tumbling all over.
Shop after it rolls around.
Right. It's throwing off the suspension. Yeah. You take it. Yeah.
Just keeps me grounded.
It's the worst. So you put the
Her
pizza.
car is a fucking disaster.
Yeah, I do. Have
Really?
A disaster of a car. I have a 2006 Toyota Corolla.
Not even like the outside is fine.
That's cool.
Fine.
That's gonna run forever.
The inside
That's
is
practical.
a disaster.
No, the outside has duct tape on it.
Yeah, but it's. I mean, like
That can get you on
it's
Pimp My
respectable
Ride.
that you're still rolling a 26 Corolla.
You make fun of me often.
No, but it's. I mean, like I drove a 2000 Honda Civic for the longest time.
I'm driving it till it dies.
Yeah,
Yes,
I respect that.
There is nothing better. I got actually. I was talking about this with my boss one time, which is a weird thing. I was saying like, hey, no matter how much money I ever make in my life, no matter what happens,
Just not going to care about your car.
I will never care about getting a nice car. Like
I used
I
to think
don't-
about it, but now I don't give a fuck.
Like, unless I had unlimited money and it could be like a hobby. Like, I'm a car person.
but even so, like there's there's cooler stuff. You could be like a painting person or like a guitar person. You get like those way cooler things to collect than cars.
Yeah, but you seem cooler when you have cool
yeah,
cars.
but the thing about the car thing is that like you don't even really get to appreciate it. Like I guess like if it's a fun car to drive, but like if you buy something that looks awesome,
Yeah.
when you're driving a car, you don't see the outside of the car.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure like the nice Italian leather and like
Yeah, like a good
the
interior.
air conditioning working.
But you don't have to buy like top of the line like fucking I don't know, like a Lamborghini I'm sure isn't like insanely comfortable inside.
I think you'd be smushed. You know what they say about cars? Once you drive it off the lot, it's worth less. They do. Seriously, have you heard this?
I have,
yes, it
yeah.
depreciates the second
it
you leave.
depreciates. Yeah, the second you leave. So the second you drive it off the lot. So next time
lost money.
next time I buy a car, I'm gonna buy it, and then
Keep
be
it
like,
on the lot.
and then just kind of, thank you, nice sale, shake hands. They're like, here are the keys.
No,
Thank
thank
you.
you. I don't want.
Then just kind of stand there like, I want to get some more of that complimentary coffee, if you don't mind. Keep it on the lot as long as possible. That's just savvy. That's just being smart with your money.
Just live in it.
But for real, you know my favorite thing about my car is? Not to brag.
It works.
That's a plus.
Yeah.
My favorite, I love my car because
The steering wheel doesn't fly out the window while you're driving.
it's got a greatest steering wheel because it's paid for.
Yeah. No.
Like,
I'm
when
pretty
when I fin up, sorry,
What was that?
Penny. It was a chair.
Oh.
Penny made the chair fart. Yeah, when I finished paying off my car, I was like,
Something that you don't
I've
even
never
think about.
liked this car more than, yeah. So who cares about cars?
You know what else they say about cars?
What?
If you leave drinks in the driver's seat side, it gets stuck under the pedal.
So
you're
you're-
fucked.
So your pizza on the seat, front passenger seat. Ellen, where are you on pizza?
From passenger seat.
Front passenger seat. We got two front passenger
Yeah.
seats. I'm front passenger seat. You're front passenger floor.
Yeah. It worries me that the oil will go through the box and be on the seat.
Yeah, but like how
That-
far is the
that
pizza
is a
place from your...
concern.
Why is that a concern? You're not on an 8-hour drive.
But it's on
No, but
because
like-
the pizza's kind of on an angle if you put it on the seat.
Yeah,
Because
and like there's no more fear of oil than like when the pizza is very hot and fresh.
Yeah.
That's when like all the oil is hot and it rolls and
It doesn't answer the question though.
cooking stuff.
It
Get
doesn't.
it.
It doesn't answer the question. What are we gonna do about Ben Affleck? How long have we been rolling? How much do we get out of
13 minutes.
That is good. That's vintage brunch.
That is
13 minutes out of what are we going to do about Ben Affleck?
Unbelievable filibustering for no reason when we have topics for this episode.
That felt good though.
Yeah.
What are we going to do
This is
about
the
Ben Affleck?
the first episode of 2021.
Ooh,
Crazy.
that's cool.
New year,
New year.
Same
new
podcast.
podcast.
I would say that 2021 is going to bring different things for brunch.
I think so. Well, we're in a good way right now.
Yeah.
Who knows how long it's going to last, but we're in a good way right now. We both have a lot of energy and dedication for the podcast right now, and depending on our schedules, my depression, my anxieties, or whatever, things can wane, things can go away. But right now, I'm very much amped on the podcast. Amped to have Penny in the mix. Amped to have Ellen in the mix right now.
Oh, I just think that like in 2020, it was difficult to. I don't know. It was difficult to commit to anything.
Right.
In 2020, nothing felt real, and like recording apart was shitty.
Right, but I think maybe, and this is just dawning on me now, maybe having to record apart for so long like made
the heart grow fonder.
I think so.
Made us appreciate what we got.
Right. No.
Oh, wow.
For real.
You feel it in the room?
Yeah, this is beautiful.
You want to leave, Helen?
Yeah, a little bit.
Right. Because I think because everything else had stopped too. So when we were recording remotely, it was like, man, this is actually a time when I'm like ready. I'm like, I am good to go here. Like we can make some really cool stuff. And right now we just kind of have to do stuff from our apartments, and that sort of stinks. So when we've gotten together to do episodes, we've been excited, and we've been spitballing ideas. We've got cool stuff on the way. We're gonna change our art at some point. We've been in season 3 of Brunch for like 600 years.
Yep. New art coming. We are gonna utilize the Patreon a bit more.
Yeah, I think we're pretty close to an idea. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that we are like a few steps away from the finish line.
Right, I was going to say in like the final steps of a very good Patreon idea that the idea isn't fully formed, but so far it's gotten good reaction. Like when I've said, "Hey, we might do this. What do you think?" I've gotten a yes. If you guys are actually capable of doing that, please do that. That's a good idea. So,
okay. Ellen doesn't know.
I'm intrigued.
Should we just say, okay, once a month, it started with like The Buzz takes over once a month, but
The Buzz is our tongue-in-cheek like morning show.
Shock jockey.
Yeah.
Hey, Ellen, you're on The Buzz.
Hey, DJ, it is 7 a.m. on The Buzz.
Yeah.
What are you buzzing about
I mean,
today?
not to endorse this or whatever, but like historically, there would be like 2 dudes, like 7 dudes doing 8 voices, and they would like have one woman.
We've got a woman in studio.
Right. They would totally,
like just give like the worst male scenario and be like, let's get a woman's take.
Right. And then like, the woman's like,
You're disgusting.
This sucks. They're like, oh, bing bong.
See, I told you she wouldn't get it. So yeah, the idea is that we're going to do like 1 episode per month, like as The Buzz.
Yeah.
But if you
a lot of segments, a lot of bits.
yeah, and like if there's a Patreon tier where like we're gonna set up a voicemail box where like you can call in, ask questions, or like ask for advice.
I love this.
And
And a big element of it is you can set up The Buzz to prank one of your friends or whatever. We'll do like, because all those shock jock things do like prank calls.
Yeah.
But we're gonna fucking suck at them. Like so you want us to
You're
like
gonna call me and be like,
like we're gonna start by pranking
suck.
Ellen, and
Okay.
Ellen's gonna be like, hello.
DJ.
We're gonna be like, hey, it's The Buzz. Fuck.
you know what we should do? You know how they have a Battle of the Roses, where like there's like some radio station that's like, well, if somebody thinks that their significant other's cheating on them or whatever, and so they like call them and ask them to send roses. Tell them that they want a free thing of roses and ask where they want to send them. And so like if they send them to like not their wife, they know that they're cheating. We should do something like that. But somebody just tells us to call one of their friends, and we just call them. And we say, "Hey, your girlfriend's cheating on you," and then hang up.
Yeah.
That's
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, that sounds funny. Now, would you have characters, or would you be yourself, or would you be?
We had we were in character. I was the donkey, wasn't I?
Yeah. What was my name?
I don't know.
I forget. But I was just the typical blah 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 blah
Yeah.
blah
And the donkey.
and the donkey. Was it? I forget something in the.
I have no idea.
Yeah, but we'll refine our characters. We'll find a way to work pranks into them. I will say, whatever the prank's going to be, I am on the record for being very anti man on the street. I don't think those things are typically good because it is based in like, hey, let's inconvenience a stranger, or like make a stranger a butt of a joke that they were like, I didn't want to be part of this. Yeah. So the pranks will be in the same spirit. So in some way, shape, or form, we will be the losers of the prank. Like, we're not going to, I don't think it's going to be a, oh my God, like they got this person, whatever. It's going to be like, hey, this was the worst prank call in the world. And the person getting pranked
it's like,
probably like knew it was coming and was not amused.
And then the other,
so pay for that.
Yeah, the other one is would be like a tier above that, I believe. So like if you do this tier,
so
you have
if you want
buzz.
to pay even more.
Yeah, but like this one is for, I don't know, we haven't figured out how to like set it up, but like you give us a certain amount of money and we will make a 10-minute YouTube video on whatever topic you want.
Yes.
And it'll just be us talking about it,
and
or like
anyone
researching.
can see it.
Yeah, but like you have to like pay for the creation of it, I guess.
Right.
Okay.
Like if you want a specific idea on video.
So it's okay.
We have to.
It's basically like a cameo.
I was just gonna say, okay, so you're just doing cameo.
Essentially, but like a 10-minute cameo.
We'll have to figure it out though, because if it's going to be like a month, we don't want it to be like a
like a one-time
monthly
thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So because it would suck if you're like, okay, I'm going to sign up for this tier, and you're like, okay, make a 10-minute video on this thing. Pete and I look at it and we're like, yeah, we don't think we'd knock that out. Thanks anyway. But that bill's monthly. Like we don't want to do that.
No.
No.
But like,
does Patreon allow that?
A one-time thing? I don't know. I'd have to look into it. At the worst case scenario, we could just set up like a Venmo or something.
Yeah.
And then like we accept or deny.
Right. The Cameo would be, I don't know.
Cameo sucks because it has to live natively in Cameo, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. So we're working on that.
Content.
Yeah. Content, Patreon stuff. We're going to need the Patreon thick because we got a trip to take next year. Hopefully.
Do we?
Let's say...
I mean, I hope we have plenty of trips to take, but like
we made an investment that is paying off handsomely right now. Do you not know what I'm talking about?
Sure don't.
I'm talking about the $1 million question. What are we going to do about Ben Affleck? Just kidding. I'm talking about our Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh, no.
They have the number. They're going to have the number one overall
true.
pick. Probably Trevor Lawrence, maybe Zach Wilson. But our Jacksonville Jaguars are going to keep it moving in the right direction. They got brave Dave Chark coming into his own. I am planning next year on going to a Jaguars game. Don't they? They have that pool and everything, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Wait, that's Jacksonville?
Yeah. Go to that stadium.
I mean, going to Jacksonville doesn't seem like I think we should go to a Jaguars road game.
I think that we could... Oh, that's not a bad idea. I was going to say, like, I think we could probably knock out the Jacksonville...
A Jacksonville trip
on like 1 month of Patreon.
Yeah, probably.
Can you imagine being in that pool after coronavirus?
Oh, yeah, that's gross.
Oh, I would love it. Like, I want to be in like
general,
the dirtiest
like, I don't think I would want to be in a Jacksonville pool.
No,
period.
at all.
You're in a stadium. Like, everyone's just peeing in the pool.
Yeah.
Like, I would not be leaving. I would just be peeing right there.
Yeah, and I mean, it's Jacksonville, and it's Florida man
and you're
Florida
drunk.
woman.
Anyway, we'll keep the Jacksonville idea tucked away because
Right.
I haven't.
We got to go to the vineyard. I don't even care. Like,
that's true. We still have to do the vineyard.
we have to do the vineyard no matter what. Like, whether or not
You've been to the vineyard.
I have. Yeah.
Yeah. We gotta.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
You fancy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. For real.
Rich.
Of all those places, the only place I've been is Block Island.
I've not been to any of the
Never
islands.
been to Nantucket.
I've only been to Cape Cod, not the islands. Yeah.
I've been to Cape Cod. Not a fan.
We just talked about this
Yeah, we
this
had
morning.
this conversation this morning.
I love the Cape.
I frequently have the not a fan of Cape Cod discussion, but very happy for everybody who does
I
like.
mean, like, I don't hate it. I just think it's overrated, and it's not what everybody makes it out to be.
But Martha's Vineyard.
Fantastic.
Okay.
The vineyard's going to be great. Will Beach Road Weekend be existing?
Fucking hope so.
Who knows? You know that they blew me off, right?
They blew you off?
When Vineyard Nights came out, they were like, and this is just going to be, you know that we're very pro.
I think that
Beach Road
we
Weekend.
blew them off too.
I don't know.
I think that they like circled back and they were like, "We'd love to work with you on this thing." And we were
Oh
like,
yeah. We're
we were
going to
like,
stay in each other's lives. But when Vineyard Nights came out, they were like, they sent a tweet or something that was like, "This getting played at Beach Road Weekend or whatever," and I was like, hey, I'm serious. I would love to do that. I'd love to open up one of the days or something. Just give me like 20 minutes, get a band together. It would be a lot of fun. And they were like, haha. And I was like, seriously, like whatever you want. Like we would love to like get this show on the road. Like, be really cool. I've got some other songs ready to go. We could mix in some like, covers.
Yeah, cool.
And they were like, LOL, love it.
You're like, no, I'm serious.
It's like, oh, so
I'll be there.
So do we have a deal?
No, I think that they circled back on us and they were like, hey, I know Beach Road Weekend isn't happening, but like we've got this other event coming up. We'd love for you guys to be a part of it. And I just think that none of us responded. And they were,
really?
Yeah. I mean, my end, I was like, oh, that's not Beach Road Weekend. I don't give a fuck.
Well, I'm sure it didn't happen.
No, probably not.
You responded
like,
hashtag Beach Road Weekend only. They did put on like a concert series that I think they had some good bands. They had Goose, and I remember they were doing like drive-in shows and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'd go to that, and then I like looked up how long it would take, and I was like, huh.
That might have been it. They might have asked like if we had interest in like doing one of those like drive-in events, and it was just like, yeah, but like for like 3 hours to get down to the Vineyard or whatever, and like to get a place to stay for a drive-in show.
Yeah.
Nah, not for me.
Right. You got to do ferries, right, to get to the Vineyard?
Yeah.
It's a whole thing?
It's a lot of
effort.
effort.
It's a whole thing.
Well, so that's what we have to look forward to.
Turning down events.
Getting to the Vineyard at some point. We got a Brandon Flowers development. Woo.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've heard that name.
Which is crazy because love you, Taylor, mean it. But everyone's like, 2 albums in a year? This is fucking crazy. Can you think of anyone who's ever done this? It's like, well, like the Beatles kind of did that all the time or whatever. But the Killers, they just put out an album. And then like, I don't know, like a couple weeks ago, they tweeted out like the track list for their next album. So they're just apparently throwing albums at us as well, which I'm all for that. I'm glad the music industry is getting back to the Prince type stuff of, hey, all I'll be doing is making music and just like throwing as much music at you as possible, and it's all going to rule. So
Brandon Flowers has been working on his flexibility because
that's right.
Spent his entire quarantine in between his own legs.
That is a reference to the running joke that Brandon Flowers loves him some Brandon Flowers.
He sucks his own dick.
Yeah, I know. I got that
cool.
joke.
So
just wanted to make sure.
I just didn't laugh because it was disgusting.
Have you guys ever listened to? That is weird. That's like something that it does sound weird to say that. You know?
What? Did he sex his own dick?
Yeah.
I like it.
Oh yeah. Feel like a younger me would be like, yeah, Brandon Flowers. Yeah, he does. And now I can't even bring myself to.
Fine, I'll be the hero here. Brandon Flowers sucks his own dick.
Okay, so Brandon Flowers has that reputation. Have you guys ever listened to Song Exploder?
No.
I don't nearly enough, but it's a podcast where basically they just get like the stems to a song and they interview the person who made the song, and it's just like it's like a 10-15 minute thing, maybe, who knows, I don't listen to it enough, on like, hey, like here's how this song was made, here's like what inspired it and everything.
Like your podcast.
And it's interesting, very, very cool stuff. And I've listened to select episodes because like they did one on Harmony Hall, they did one on Short Court Style by Natalie Prass. So it's cool thing to listen to. I saw Netflix has like a video version of that. So I was like, oh, cool. Let me flip through some of these songs, see if I want to watch any of them. And one of them was on When You Were Young by The Killers.
Great song.
I love that song.
It's a great song.
The Killers are a great band.
Totally.
Band. So, like for as much as we shit on Brandon Flowers for loving his band.
Yeah, I think that's just more of like a quirk of Brandon Flowers. Like I don't look. You're talking to probably the premier David Foster stan. I do not begrudge anybody for being obsessed with themselves. Like whatever. I think that everybody to a degree is narcissistic.
Yeah.
And I think that I
think Brandon Flowers came out a little strong. Like in the middle of like the Killers hype, he was like, no band has ever been as good as this band.
Right. So something had to have happened that had us agreeing that like
he said that the Killers were like the most influential rock band of this generation.
I mean,
he literally said that.
Okay, so that certainly qualifies as loving your own, you know what?
Yeah,
but there's an argument.
Like he's not like that's what I'm saying. Now, like since they've continued to put out work, and like been really good, like maybe,
and
like they're really good,
and that like rock music is so
stonks are going down.
Right, that for whatever reason, like rock music is not prevalent in like on the charts.
Right, like Imagine Dragons is what you get on the charts.
Right,
rock.
like it's so weird that like the rock category of the Grammys is always like, it feels now like, I don't know, like, well, whatever, I don't know, 20 years ago, I don't know what category you'd be like, well, no, who knows what any of that stuff is. But like the Grammys, I remember when I would watch it as a kid, you'd be like, yeah, just give me like Song of the Year, Record of the Year. Like, I don't want to hear like male collaboration, whatever. Like, who cares about any of that stuff? Like best rock song has kind of become a category like that, where you're like, yeah, I know that song.
Best rock
I'm sure
song
the other
on
guys
radio.
tried.
Yeah, it's,
right.
It's weird, and it's like it's very weird that in music now, like everybody's willing to care and give credit and like I guess like get like acclaim to lower level like hip hop, like you know what I'm saying, like SoundCloud and stuff, and like a lot of people are coming up and getting attention that way. But it doesn't seem like a lot of like rock bands below like pop level, like Imagine Dragons, get a ton of like general public acclaim.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it was a fun exercise years ago when like one of my Scott, who a running joke, my friend Scott, a running joke with him has forever been like, hey, we're going to get you on the podcast sometime. Scott was a Barstool writer before, I don't know, probably before any of us had heard of Barstool. Super funny guy, has great takes. So a running joke with like our friend group is like, obvious, great person to have on brunch sometime, and we just never get around to it. But he was all excited when he first heard Greta Van Fleet, and I was like, don't you dare. Bad Scott. Don't do it. And he was like, why? What's wrong with it? And I was like, I explained all the reasons why Greta Van Fleet just weirds me out. And I was like, he was like, I love rock music, and I don't really have a way of finding it right now, because it seemed like, I don't know, like, does rock music still get made? And I was like, of course it does. You're just only looking at the charts, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, cool, make me a playlist of like some modern rock stuff I should check out. I was like, easy. And I was like, Houndmouth. Fuck. And like that was
you even throw Houndmouth into like rock?
Yeah, they're like, they can, you can call them whatever you want. Like you can call it Americana,
a little bit of folk.
Yeah. But the point stands. Like, it is hard to be like, all right, you like rock so much, name 2 of their albums. And you're like, oh, from like the last 10 years?
I feel like 90% of people, if you were like, name a rock band that like active right now, be like, Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
Right, Foo Fighters is the one that like...
Yeah, I think that would be the go-to.
Because they're the kind of Walmart rock band right now. By the way, I think they're getting bad. Foo Fighters.
I mean, I think they've been kind of.
I love them.
So like they're gonna make an awesome greatest hits album.
They are the ultimate greatest hits band.
They put out an album. They have like one or two really
great
good
songs.
Throw the rest away.
Yeah, it's weird.
Well, they've also been a band for so long.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree.
You only got so much to give.
But Wasting Light, which was from like the early 2010s, it like might be their best album. Like every song, but maybe 2 are freaking great. So they can surprise you. But the point stands. Like, there's a lot of great rock music, but if you say to the average person, like, when my friend Scott was like, hey, make me a playlist or whatever, I was like, so, like, White Reaper, great band, and but they're not on, I don't know, a person who listens to, who's going to find Greta Van Fleet's radar, and that's very frustrating.
Diarrhea Planet.
Diarrhea Planet. Like, I
world's greatest rock band.
I never freaking heard of them outside of word of mouth. You know, like I'd hear about them from you or Jeff or whatever.
What about Machine Gun Kelly? He's doing rock now.
I still don't know anything about Machine Gun Kelly, other than that he fights with...
He's doing like more punk.
If you consider Houndmouth rock, then he's doing rock.
I mean, that's fair, but like he's not... I don't know. He's doing more like punk stuff, and it's more just because of like he's working with
I would say punk
Travis
rock.
Barker. Yeah.
Have we talked about that? I talked about that with friends recently. The Travis Barker, not worth the money.
What?
Like putting Travis Barker on one of your songs, it's not like.
Yeah, like I get what you're.
Like
I
who
get where you're
cares? It's
coming
not
from.
going to change the song,
Right? Yeah, I get where you're coming from. Like he's not like a game changer. He's
Like,
just going to make it sound like Blink-182.
He's a
Yeah.
great drummer, and I don't know. Like it depends. Like what kind of Travis Barker are you getting? If you're getting Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, Travis Barker, hell friggin' yeah, that guy was
he
doing.
nailed in a lot of the stuff on like the latest few Blink
Right,
albums, 100%.
Because I would assume that he's a drummer, so he's gonna, and he's a musician. So if you give him your song and you're like, hey Travis, I'd love you to play on this song, he's probably gonna hear the song and think what should go on this song, not like, hey, I'm gonna do like these like really funny fills or whatever that I was doing on Take Off Your Pants and Jacket because that might not be appropriate for that song.
Right.
So I think the idea of being like, hey, this is a rock song, so we're putting Travis Barker on it. There's a good chance Travis Barker's going to hear that song and be like, yeah, so like the feel for this song is like I should probably play it straight. So then you paid, I don't know, like ungodly amounts of money to have like a good like session drummer, which
Is Travis
Basically.
Barker not cool anymore?
I mean, I'll
Like,
always
are
think
the
he's
Gen Zers
cool.
like? Do they even know who he is?
I bet a lot of people have no idea who Travis Barker is or like why he's.
You see the Marty Walsh picture?
No, it was the Governor Baker.
Oh, Baker. I'm sorry.
Yes,
okay.
I
Only
did,
in
yes.
Boston. But yeah, he was.
Loves Blink-182.
Did you notice? It was all new Blink.
Was it?
No, it wasn't.
No,
Man,
it wasn't.
my friends and I call anything Enema and on
Oh.
Okay.
new Blink.
God.
So like Blink-182, we're so freaking cool. Like Buddha, Cheshire Cat, Dude Ranch.
Ranch, yeah.
We were like, yeah, that's Blink-182. And then like anything from Enema on, which I don't know, like I pretty sure like the first Blink I heard was
It had
Enema.
to be Enema.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
And I mean, like, we're not going to sit here and pretend like Enema isn't cool.
oh, it's great.
Yeah,
Like,
fuck off.
No, like New Blink is cool.
Yeah.
New Blink. I'd say like New Blink is Enema.
Take Off Your
Was Take Off Your Pants and Jacket directly after?
Yeah.
So wow. Okay. So those two albums were awesome, and then everything after that, I was kind of out.
I liked Neighborhoods. Nobody liked Neighborhoods except for me.
Except for you.
Yeah,
And the whole world.
I literally like the only person in the world who likes Neighborhoods, and I don't care. I like Neighborhoods. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I like Neighborhoods. It's awesome.
I have a Coke. Some people have Pepsi.
Yeah,
No, but this all brings us back to Song Exploder.
what are we gonna do about Ben
Yeah.
Affleck?
Shit, Ben Affleck. So, given the landscape of rock in popular music, I would agree that like the argument can be made. Hey, the Killers are like very important, very influential. Because and this is what I say with Taylor Swift. If someone's like, "Oh, Taylor Swift is just this or just that or whatever," I'm like, "Cool," but kids are going to hear that. So like,
She is the most influential.
right? So like,
pop
right?
musician.
Like she's very influential.
Yeah.
It's very important that her music be good if kids are gonna
Right.
make good music going forward. So anyway, there was a Song Exploder on When You Were Young, and I was like, awesome. I love that song. I want to hear all the parts. I want to hear all the stories. And the actual Song Exploder thing was not very interesting or informative. Didn't really tell you anything. But I was like, let's see Brandon go to town on Brandon. And so like they're all sitting there, they're telling the story. They're like, yeah, we just we'd had like the huge success with the first album, and like then we got this pressure of the second album, and I'm like, yeah, Brandon's gonna say, so I knew I had to make a hit, and here's what I did. And he's like, so we're jamming, and like the bass player starts playing this line, which is close to what the line is on the album. And I'm like, so Brandon's gonna say, and then I said,
I fixed it.
Just do
Yeah.
this. He's like, so then we're playing, and the drummer says, hey, why don't you play it like this? And that became the song. And I'm like, well,
That doesn't seem right.
not liking this so far. And he's like, so this is the chord progression. The da 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 da. He's like, and there needed to be that line on top of it. I'm like, here we go. Brandon did the da-da-da-da-da. And he's like, so I played this thing on the synth, and people just weren't feeling it. So then the guitarist said, how about I play this instead? And he turned that line into this like iconic, great, this is the thing that you hear there. And I'm like, what the? Does he even have a fucking writing credit on this song? Yeah, what the hell? So it was a lot of that. And he was even going out of his way. He was like, the guitar solo, man. He comes in playing a 7, which just isn't really popular. Then he goes to a 9, and like you're just not typically hearing that sort of stuff. And he honestly just sounds throughout the whole thing like he's so proud to be in the Killers.
And not be
and I'm like, what's your game here? Yeah. And then I got to think, I texted you, I was like, hey, we got a Brandon Flowers update. I don't really know what it means, but I don't know what it means. Like, is he a changed man, or
just
were we just making up? Were we just making up?
We did not make up that Brandon Flowers S is his own D.
Just recently, because maybe it was coronavirus, and he's just more
maybe
grateful.
Like a little lethargic.
No, not like he's sick.
Like actively sick. Like he's on truth serum, and he's like, oh yeah, I don't write any of our music.
He just needs to get it off his chest. No, I think that we haven't done a check-in with Brandon Flowers in a long time. And also, like, it shouldn't be that surprising, I guess, because like they've had all these album cycles, and he hasn't said any dumb shit in a long time.
Yeah. I did appreciate in that the biggest thing from the Song Exploder thing was that they made no lie about that. They were like, yeah, we were just like trying to make a Bruce Springsteen song, and we did it.
Yeah. I mean, there are so many of their songs that just sound such like Bruce,
right? Like they were talking about, like,
it works.
That descending line before the like chill part when it's like da 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 da. They were like, yeah, we were just like, how can we put that da 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 from Born to Run in the song without just like playing Born to
Copy
Run
and paste, yeah.
So we did this. And then Brandon's like, "Oh, hey guys, that's on me. That was my fault. Look, if anyone's getting sued here, look, the drummer wrote this song. He's a genius." So,
"Runaways" was the song that I was thinking. They're like recent single, maybe like a couple of years ago at this point. But like that was just, it sounds exactly.
I mean, they put out
like
so
Bruce.
much music recently that their most recent album was good. I can't name like any of the songs other than "Caution," but
I remember listening to it.
It was good.
Really good.
I think that Alex Cameron had a hand in that album. I can't remember what it was. I think he may have like co-written Caution. Ellen, do you know Alex Cameron?
Don't.
He is the balls.
Yeah. Okay.
He's an Australian fella, and he just got a lot of cool songs. Wait,
is he the one that like surfs?
No, that's Paul.
That's Paul Williams, who I don't know if he surfs, but
he made surf music.
Yeah.
And he told me about Alex Cameron.
Wow, that's a full circle moment.
It always comes full circle. So,
what are we gonna do about that?
So friggin' Ben, he's like, hey, who got a lodge? That's right. Everybody knows that guy. Comes in with the coffees, dropping them all over the place, making a friggin' mess. You guys got to try Boston. There's all sorts of crazy guys. Okay, moment everyone's been waiting for. We've been teasing it all episode. A Teacher finale. We got there. Ellen doesn't watch A Teacher.
No, I overheard the finale today, but I don't watch it because I don't need.
That's a mental health thing.
Yeah, I don't need to go there. I don't need to go into a dark place like that. But
we do.
You do.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, we decided to. It's concluded. The show's over now. Although, really, I was going to say the show's been over forever because it's set so far in the past.
This one went to the future.
This episode went to the future. So now they did a 10 years later, which I can't tell because they did 10 years later and they're at a high school reunion, which makes me think, well, the last episode was
like 2 years.
A year in the future. Right. Yeah. So they're having like a 12-year reunion, something like that. So this show is now in roughly 2025.
2024 because it was class of 2014 and it was the 10-year reunion. Well,
but if they were doing the reunion 10 years, right? So it's.
It was really 8 years.
But it's between 2023 and 2026 to be
safe.
You
don't do a high school reunion every year, do you? You do it in like 5 years.
5,
10.
Yeah, so it had to be 2024.
At any rate,
they fucked it up.
Unlike some of us, this show skipped 2020.
Oh God!
Was that a shit year or what? Oh my God! I feel different now.
Wow.
Do you?
It's like I totally forgot about it.
Yeah.
Put it in my rearview mirror.
I can't remember if this was said on a podcast, but like deep in, I don't know, a couple months into the pandemic, when like the 2020 is the worst talk was like hitting its real apex, I was like, no, now is bad.
Yeah.
2020 isn't bad. It's just like, now is bad, and it's still going to be now in 6 months, in 10 months.
Well, the best is that happens every year where, like, if a celebrity dies, they're like, oh, 20,
that's right.
2019 is the worst.
Will you just end 27? Well, what was
did you see Jeff?
Celebrities are going to die in 2021. I hate to fucking break it to you.
Jeff Israel's Twitter post from 2016 New Year's Eve. It's him and his wife.
Oh, it's like fuck 2016.
Yeah. He was like, if we only knew.
Yeah.
At any rate, since a teacher skipped 2020, we should make a Twitter account called a teacher 2020 that imagines the 2020 part of the A Teacher storyline.
Just Matt's band.
It's
making
all
music.
about quarantine EPs. Matt make quarantine EP. Matt, can you guess the biggest influence on track 4? New wife. You're a doctor. Aren't you like the only people who are busy during this time? Like, the thing with 2020 is like you and grocery store work. Like you guys are swamped.
You're the heroes.
And he's like, check us out though. I got like a old school 4-track cassette recorder. I'm working on stuff. Claire get harassed less frequently thanks to mask.
And she would be pregnant, wouldn't she? Doesn't she have young children?
That's true. She could possibly be pregnant.
No, her kids are like at least a couple years old.
People are so ruthless to her in that show that like I think that they could see her pregnant and still be so mean to her.
Well, she's a pedophile.
Right. But believe me, I'm not defending right or anything. But
also,
like,
she was a bit of a...
But like she serves her time, gets out, and is like trying to get a job, and people are like coming into the store being like, you know who that fucking is, right?
Yeah.
And that's where, again, not defending.
God, I think I'd be that person.
If you were around it, probably.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's still very much, too, on this latest episode. She's still very much on the woe is me.
Oh, yeah. Again, like you were talking about something else earlier, and you were saying like people just don't consider the fact that human beings are complicated, and that unfortunately no one is totally good or totally bad. Like from very early on in this show, you're like, this character has deep, like, I don't want to say crazy, insane, whatever, be insensitive or whatever, but like this person has like serious issues.
Well, don't you have to be somewhat, like, if someone in her position, wouldn't you have to be somewhat of a narcissist to think you could do something like that and, like, get away with it and no one would think, like, anything of it?
I legitimately don't think that there's a thought in her brain to, like, getting away with stuff or whatever. Like, just, like, seriously not considering how batshit and harmful what she's doing is. And that's one of the many reasons it's a good show, but it is a rough watch. So, show is now between 2023 and 2026 to be safe. Eric looks exactly like shit. He looks so bad. They like terrible. They age all the characters and they just basically like put like sweaters on everybody and
told Eric, they were like, yo, don't sleep and don't cut your hair for like 2 months.
Yeah, he looks rough. He
looks like me.
They give him They put him in like the in between phase of
like a
hair
growing hair out. Yeah, it looks terrible.
So he doesn't look good.
He grew his hair out in 2020 and just like never went back.
Yeah,
maybe. And Claire has got a new wife, got a new life, and the family's
looks
fine.
Great.
Yeah, she looks great. Has a
husband,
family.
Drives a Tesla. He's rich. Family's got a nice house.
Right. and they run into each other at a grocery store, and then Claire texts him and says, "Can we meet
at 5:54 a.m.?"
Right after he had just hooked up with his ex-girlfriend from high school at the high school reunion. Which the high school reunion, I don't know where places. Have you ever been to a high school reunion?
Yeah.
Yep.
They don't happen at the high school.
So maybe
it's weird that they did that.
Depending on the town.
Well, that's a very much like a movie or TV show thing.
They do stuff. They always do stuff like in the
trope.
auditorium.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
usually
he
happens at like a hotel.
Yeah.
I feel like a ballroom,
really like IRL,
like a function room. Yeah.
I've only gone to one, and it was at a bar.
Yeah, that too.
But it was like a function space or whatever. Claire's got a new husband who might as well be Tom Everett Scott in La La Land because we hate him for not being Matt. Mm-hmm. There's not a mention of Matt in this one. Which, what was it, the second to last episode that Matt? Yeah, that Matt says he was making an album. Mm-hmm. We don't hear it. Don't want to talk about it. Sensitive subject. We mainly follow Claire's ex-husband, Matt, in this show because he wants to rock, and Claire is very mean and dismissive of his
musical aspirations.
Yeah.
Should she have been?
We don't know. We never got to hear the band.
You sound a little Claire here. We don't want that.
Do they play Weezer or Wilco?
Weezer.
Wrong.
God.
It's Wilco. They play Wilco songs, and I was going to say Claire's friend. And I'm like, wait, Claire's friend is like the only good person in this show. Anyway, there's a scene where he's like, hey, look, I blew our savings on like all these sick-ass guitars. I'm starting a band with a bunch of doctors, and she basically calls him a loser for it. What the hell's that?
Oh, I agree with the pedophile.
She's having sex with a child.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's very upsetting. So they she texts him, says, hey, can we meet up? And they meet up, and it's not sexual. Where
did the meetup happen? Because as I was overhearing it, I felt like it was a diner.
Yeah, it wasn't a diner. It was like a nicer restaurant.
Okay.
It was a sit-down restaurant.
Right. And this happens all the time. Like, there's... For the awful space this show navigates, it does feel like real, like things that you would actually expect humans to do. So she's like, look, I feel so horrible that you were like the victim of my actions. Like I was in a marriage that I didn't want, and you were what I used to blow it up. Like when you kissed me, I should have stopped you, but I fed into it because I hated my marriage and I wanted to blow it up or whatever. And I feel like that is something that somebody would do, which is like the apology where like you're being defensive, but you're also like, I need my brain to think that this wasn't my fault. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to say like this was
It's like what happens in your mind to shield you from blame.
Right.
So like the way that she said it was the way that she saw it, but he was like, yo,
he was like, I kissed you because like you were. He doesn't say grooming, but like she like so.
Yeah.
In the
you
show,
opened. He was like, you opened the door like 80 times.
Right. Like she very much blurs the right. Yes. There was.
We talked about that at the beginning. There's so many times where she could have.
We're just like
done the right thing to shut it down.
Yeah, but it's like, wait, why are you? He wants to go to the University of Texas, so you're gonna. Drive him there
tour,
to give him a in-person tour.
And you're going to go to a party.
And that, so there's, So this is before they do anything.
See, this is why I don't watch this show. Like, that's just like how is this entertaining?
Well, because you see it happen in slow motion because you know that it's going to happen. So, like, you see the wrong decisions that she makes, like, in slow motion. She takes him to a party to, like, let him experience that side of the college. But, like, she also drinks with him, and it's, like, very fucking weird.
Yeah.
And... she'll like drive him home after tutoring and stuff, and like lets him call her Claire.
She says like, "Don't call me Miss whatever."
Okay.
Yeah, Mrs. Whatever. So he's like, "Wait, like you're just gonna skip over the fact that like you were setting this up, like
way.
Right? Like you made our relationship romantic, and then I fucking kissed you,
right?
So." that was a scene that needed to happen. Where like I feel like everyone had she'd gotten it 10 million different ways of people being like, you're a bad person, everything. And I think that she in her brain could be like, they don't know that this was consensual, that like we loved each other and all this stuff. And like she needed to hear it
from the other side of that experience, being like, you fucked up.
This
is your responsibility.
Right. Like this didn't harm me because you didn't stop me from kissing you. Like this harmed me because you created a relationship with us.
Yeah.
So I mean, there wasn't going to be a happy ending to this.
Yeah, I liked that it wasn't
show.
neat. I liked that it wasn't like clean. I liked that they were like, we're both fucked up, and that they ended the series.
Yeah. So that's the end of A Teacher, and that what an experience.
Yeah, it was a ride.
Yeah.
I'm a little disappointed that we didn't get Matt's band.
I know. I feel like if it weren't, how do you think people who didn't blow up the Matt's band storyline, how do you think those people felt watching the show? Because I don't, maybe that was like a mechanism we used to get through an extremely uncomfortable show to watch.
Yeah, I definitely think that that's part of it, where it's like, especially where we're talking about it, and we're not that kind of podcast. We like to have fun and make fun of the whatever we're watching. So that was like I think a coping mechanism. But I think, I don't know. I would imagine that anybody who watched that show was like uncomfortable, but like pretty good.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a knock your socks off good or anything, but
no,
like, it was a good watch, and I'm satisfied with the way that it was handled.
Yes. I get like horrifying topic to take on.
What did you get out of it? Like, did you get that's what I don't get.
I don't know. It's like do you ever watch? I don't, but do you ever watch short films?
No.
So short.
I seem like a short film kind of gal.
I don't. Well, you're a classic Bostonian.
What do you get out of watching reality TV?
I'm more of a Dunks gal myself.
What do you get out of watching reality TV?
It's entertaining.
Right, so the show is entertaining.
No, but it's entertaining because it's like funny or like outrageous or like the money and the...
Well, we watch for the band.
Dark.
We watch for the band.
Some dudes just want to rock.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I was going to say short films. I didn't know this until a few years ago when I was watching the short films for the Oscars. I didn't know that like a lot of them, the goal is to just like make you feel something, and they've got a short amount of time to do it. So often it's just like
fucking dark,
some horrifying dark stuff that like I'm still like scarred from a couple of short films I saw that day when I tried to watch those Oscar short films. Don't want to talk about them, but that's like what some art does. It just like, it's like, I'm going to make you feel something.
Yeah, but like, why do you want to feel like that? Like, I can feel like that. I can just think about something else.
I know, right?
That's how she feels about like sad music. She's like, I don't want to listen to sad music because like it makes me feel things that I don't want to feel.
You should listen to, so you only happy stuff?
Or just like regular.
Or just like chill, like the chill winter playlist. You should listen to Father John Misty.
No, I shouldn't.
She has. She saw Father John Misty in concert.
Oh yeah.
And she was like, I don't like this.
I don't like this. I didn't like the crew. I didn't like, these weren't my people. Like, I didn't like it at all.
I don't feel comfortable with that guy over there.
I was like, this is not it.
I'm getting bad vibes from this. Oh God, I love the vibes that I get from. Ah man, I miss Father John Misty shows. It's just such a good atmosphere.
Yeah, it's not mine.
I mean, I think that there are like certain things where I watch where I don't really enjoy it or like it when I'm watching it, but like it makes me think about it for like 3 or 4 days at a time, and at that point I'm like I got to respect it because like it stuck with me, even if I didn't necessarily like enjoy the experience of watching it.
Yeah. Let's talk about good things from 2020. Pop
Ben
culture
Affleck.
wise, Ben Affleck.
He got sober this year, so that actually is...
He did?
Yes, he did.
Cool.
He also shacked up with Anna de Armas.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he did. Oh, yeah, that was the beginning of the quarantine. They had like a quarantine press circle.
They moved in together because...
Honestly, I thought that they were already... I assumed that they would have already been living together at that point.
They had not.
No, they were doing
they just started dating.
Island vacations together and getting like paparazzi'd everywhere.
I thought they were dating like when Knives Out came out. I thought.
Maybe it might have been brand new at that time.
Interesting.
I think that he had just gotten out of rehab and then he started dating her.
Well, I hope they're happy.
Me
Same.
too, and I hope he's healthy.
I hope he got new coffee.
Right. So
You think that one of those coffees was hers?
maybe.
She doesn't seem like a donkey's girl.
What does that mean?
I've gotten back
Look at me. Look at her.
I've gotten back to going to Dunks, which I hadn't for a while. I'd really stopped getting anything from anywhere forever.
And Dunks has been consistently upsetting recently, I feel like.
Consistently upsetting.
Recently, by forever.
Last 15 years.
Yeah.
People know that, right? Not. Hey, well, look, we're only in Boston, so we got our little bubble, but it's important that people outside of. I'm trying to think. Does Dunkin' Donuts sponsor anything that I do work wise or anything?
It probably does.
I love Dunkin' Donuts, and I go there. I give them my money.
I'll be the brave soul to say it.
Yeah,
so not attached to you. They suck.
I think that they have one amazing item. Their hash browns.
Hash browns are pretty good.
I love their. You don't love their bagels or breakfast sandwiches?
No.
I've said forever. The Dunkin' Donuts bacon, egg, and cheese is the worst thing. That I have had a million times. And will continue to get. I probably eat
it's a hockey puck.
20 of them a year,
and
I know that they're not good. But
they don't even hide the fact that it's just we're gonna take this from a drawer and throw it in the microwave.
But it's comfortable. It just is you know what you're gonna get.
It's home.
You get it the same time every time. It's good.
But it's
but it's bad.
Yeah, so it's like cigarettes.
It's just like cigarettes.
So
relatable.
I was trying to think of that recently. I couldn't come up with that. I'm like, what is something that's like Dunkin' Donuts where
cigarettes?
It does one thing well, but you use it for everything and don't even ask questions. That could be a band that has a million hits, and you're like, wait, I think only one of them is actually a good song. But Ben Affleck famously likes Dunkin' Donuts. Google Ben Affleck Dunkin' Donuts. There's pictures of him holding Dunkin' Donuts, drinking it,
dropping it.
Runs in the family because Casey Affleck loves Dunkin' Donuts.
Famously did the SNL cowbell Dunkin' Donuts thing.
Yeah.
Good things happen in 2020. An Evening with Tim Heidecker. That's number one for me. That's my favorite thing that came out in 2020.
But the worst thing to happen to me in 2020 was you watching Tim Heidecker.
Did you watch An Evening with Tim Heidecker?
Yeah, I must have missed
sure
it.
You gotta
like
see it.
No, you don't.
Oh my God! Please see it. It's so funny.
Is it just him talking?
It's a stand-up special.
It's an intentionally bad stand-up special.
I would hate that.
Yeah,
it is so fucking good. I've watched it 100 times, and I laugh out loud every time.
I would definitely
hate it.
What's that guy we watched? Ever snurred of it?
Oh, that was TJ Miller.
I think that's the last one I watched.
That was the worst stand-up special
That
I've ever
was
seen.
not intentionally bad.
No.
Although I remember for a while you would
it.
say ever snurred of it.
I still say ever snurred of it.
I love that you locked onto that.
Yeah.
I still say it. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard, and it still comes into my head.
Next time if someone gives me shit on Twitter for anything, if they're like, "Oh, DJ, how do they let you on TV with your nose, blah, blah?" I'd be like, it's called fashion. Ever snurred of it? Something like that. That doesn't even make sense, saying that your nose is fashion. But you got to see it. I did this I'm going to kind of name drop, but Shane from Houndmouth is a big Tim Heidecker guy, and he brought that up recently. And I was like, hey, did you know? I was like, I saw recently Tim Heidecker has posted videos over the last 10 years of him workshopping what ended up becoming An Evening with Tim Heidecker. And in every single one of them, he does the Coke versus Pepsi joke, which, Ellen, I'm going to show you this after. You at least need to see this. It is the best.
I just don't think I'll think it's funny.
Oh, you won't. You won't think it's funny. It's the best, worst joke ever. And the fact that for 10 years he's been
perfecting it.
He's been perfecting making this joke so terrible. So I did the thing. Do you ever do and you show someone something and they're like, "Yes, I showed you that."
Yeah.
That's what that was. I was like, yo, check this out. He'd been doing the Coke versus Pepsi joke for like a million years. Look at all these videos. And he was like, yeah, it was like the only communication I had with you like the last year was like me saying, hey, this is him doing that. But I watched those videos of him perfecting the Coke versus Pepsi joke. It's the best. Love it. Love Pete. We laugh at you can't do that. Fuck off.
Yeah, we laugh at that.
We laugh at that a lot.
We laugh at that a ton.
You know what? I've enjoyed an evening with Tim Heidecker experience. There's two people, Shane and my cousin, who agree it's very, very funny. Everybody else has given me various. I tried to watch it because you really wanted me to.
I hate it, but like, you're a little too obsessed.
Watch it again. Watch it again.
It'll get better, I swear.
When nothing good, movies stunk this past year.
Yeah, so we were gonna do like a year in review episode because we do that at the end of every year. We make like a big episode where like 2020 year in review.
Do we?
Yeah, we did that past 2 years.
Okay.
Remember we do like most handsome man of the year. We do blah, blah, blah. Who cares this year?
That's the thing. I couldn't bring myself to finish like I do like best of 2020 playlist.
Yeah, who cares?
I couldn't. It's now. Yeah. Now is bad. Everything is bad. Best songs though. Overlord by Dirty Projectors. 2S by Father John Misty. I liked the Southside by Houndmouth. That was a great song off the EP they put out, but they didn't put it out on Spotify, so I can only listen to it in Bandcamp.
Bandcamp, it's tough.
This is a big year for Bandcamp.
Very big year for Bandcamp.
I don't know if they made any money, but they helped artists money. So very cool. And Paul Samuel Dolman on Brunch. That was a good thing. Tom Everett Scott on Brunch. That was a good thing. I lost a bunch of weight that I had gained in 2020 and have since put back on in 2020. So
hot tubbing.
A lot of positives.
There you go.
Do you have any positives, Pete?
We moved into the house.
Yeah.
Moved in together. That was nice.
That was you did say that the other day. You're like, I moved into a house, and I was like, I think the big thing there was like you moved in with Ellen.
Yeah.
Both.
But mostly me.
Well,
yeah, you're like, but it was like
quarantine-wise.
It was
the house.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be stuck in a garden-level apartment for another quarantine. Twitch was great. Has been great for me this year.
I'm very happy for you there.
Yeah.
I want to like Twitch so badly.
Penny.
I think I think
you will like Twitch.
I'm liking Twitch away from being a Twitch guy.
Yeah.
I just got like that's the one obstacle, and like then I'll need people to watch me on Twitch. I just don't. I like people are so nice during it. They do
nice.
jokes and all this stuff.
I think you just need to like lean into being weird. I feel like you're just like trying to do Twitch stuff.
I don't like sitting in front of my computer with the camera on me in my home for any longer than I already have to do. Like I need there to be some separation of like this is where I sleep and this is where I eat and this is where I'm stuck doing everything to like be okay, now we're adding on another thing. Like if there were a Twitch office I went into, I think I'd be a Twitch guy. But I think it's just like
set up anywhere. But you
I
also
know, I'm very confused by this. Is it the seeing yourself while you're doing it?
It's being in front of I think it's just
being in front of a camera,
I think
like
it's
work?
like doing another thing at home in front of the camera.
Yes.
Okay.
So like maybe like
That
once you
makes
get
sense.
back into the studio for work,
You're right? Then maybe like
like-
that will replace
Yeah.
the work that I'm doing at home. But yeah, that's Twitch. Twitch is everyone is nice on Twitch, and that's it's a fun experience. No, it's not. I just don't like it. But
I just
we had a
want
good New
to
Year's
make money
on Twitch.
what's that?
I just want to make money on Twitch.
Right, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Side hustles. That seems like a sweet thing. How do we want to wrap this up? The Ben Affleck joke would seem appropriate, but
Yeah.
what do you call Ben Affleck with no eyes?
What?
Ben Affleck.
Ben probably. Ben Affleck.